So Farmacias Similares ended up disrupting its industry. Now, every disruption causes a reaction. A true disruption gores somebody's ox. And the pharmacy industry in Mexico is an $11 billion industry. And today, 80% of that has gone to generics. Now, nobody lets an $11 billion industry go without a fight. So what happened? Farmacias Similares was established in 1997. By 1998, there were ads that showed the picture of an adorable child with one caption: "Your child is not generic." But in 1998, 1 year after the establishment of Farmacias Similares, Mexican legislators sought a change in the health law of Mexico. And it said, we have to divide the world of drugs into three groups. The first is innovative drugs. Those are drugs that are patented and are protected for 10 years because there is intellectual property tied to them. But generics have to be divided into two groups. One is generics that are interchangeable. And they're interchangeable because they have had a bioequivalency test by an independent laboratory that says that not only does it have its same ingredients, it will act the same in the body. And those that don't have that bioequivalence test would be known as similar generics. Same ingredients, but who knows how it will behave in your body. And they said, this is how everybody must categorize it. Now, that went through. It didn't stop the trend of generics. So 4 years later, in 2002, the legislators again said, we need to protect the Mexican public. So actually, for the public healthcare system, it should only use interchangeable generics. Now, what's the punchline here? The punchline to all this is that a bioequivalency test costs $65,000 a pop. And so that latest change meant that everything in the public health system had to have a $65,000 bioequivalency test, which laid the groundwork for them to say a couple of years later, wait a minute, shouldn't we extend this to all of Mexico? So basically they said, we think that there shouldn't be a generic in all of Mexico that doesn't have a bioequivalency test that shows that it will act the same in your body. And when that surfaced, Farmacias Similares opposed it vehemently. Victor Gonzalez Torres, the founder, went media and said, no, this is terrible, and really started a campaign against it. Except that days before it went to the vote, Victor Gonzalez Torres retracted himself and said, I've been thinking about this. I really think this is good for the Mexican people. So of course, with no opposition, this passed. And the law gave a 5-year grace period in which this conversion had to take place. Now, the law was passed in 2005. So by 2010, there was not one medicine in a Farmacias Similares shelf that did not have a bioequivalency test. So basically, it said, the drugs on my shelves are as good as anything you can find. Now, who paid for this? Well, Victor Gonzalez Torres' original business, which he still has, is a lab that produces generics, which he used to sell exclusively to the public health sector, since that was the only place that you could sell it to. But that supplied about 20% of his inventory. So basically, it was this new law that provided the argument for Victor Gonzalez Torres to go to 80% of his medical drugs suppliers, to say to them, we've been buddies for a long time, And of course, I know that your products are good. In fact, I have my own quality control system, and it's never failed with my suppliers. But now I have to ask you for a bioequivalency test because it's the law. So in effect, that law made it possible for Victor Gonzalez Torres to demand a bioequivalency test to all his suppliers, and thus removing the basic argument that traditional pharma could have against generics in Mexico. Now, what this shows is that true disruption is really, really difficult for incumbents to respond. In the first place, if there's a value proposal out there that is so much better than the current one, the incumbent has to figure out how to at least match that same proposal, but without diminishing the margins of his products, which of course is likely to be mission impossible. The other alternative is to actually join the disruption and thus speed precisely the trend that you don't want.